Lehman. Why do you hate that sound for? Oh, there you go.
Good afternoon, all. We will start in just a few minutes. Good afternoon, all. We'll go live right at 2 o'clock. So hang with me for just a minute. All right. Good afternoon, all. First of all, just want to wish everyone a very happy Easter on this Friday, first Friday of the Easter season. My hope and prayer is that you and your families had a very blessed Easter, even though I know it was a very different Easter. Certainly a very different Easter for the Ater family. We logged in and listened to the vigil on Saturday night, and it's very different, especially with two sixth graders trying to get through a full vigil. But still a blessing nonetheless, and one way or another, Christ is still risen. I'll always remember that it was the disciples were hiding, much like we are right after Easter themselves. So continue to keep everybody in prayer, and happy Easter. We're going to jump right in. Let's see where my mouse went here. There we go. To our agenda for the day. First, we're going to cover our senior class plans. We've had a lot of great suggestions and a number of meetings to get to the point that we are today. We're going to make a number of announcements on this today. A number of other rescheduled events we're going to update you on as well. Talk a little bit about some deadline extensions that have been coming our way from a registration standpoint. And then finally, we'll talk about end of year exams. So we'll jump right in. Please note as well as usual that if you have any questions throughout, don't hesitate to use the chat box feature. Excuse me. And I'll get to his questions at the end of the session here today. So first of all, senior class plans. We've got a number of things moving. First, the Sydney Daily News is going to be doing a scrapbook section. I'm not entirely sure if they will publish that just in the newspaper or newspaper and online. Seniors have been asked to turn in kind of their top 10 favorite photos of the year with a caption, and we will turn that over to the Sydney Daily News. That has been delivered to them through Google Classroom, and that's due on Monday, April 20th. And so they have the entire weekend to do that. Encourage those of you who have a senior, please encourage them to load those photos. It'd be great to have Lehman featured along with the other high schools with the Sydney Daily News there. Senior scholarships, that deadline has been extended to Monday, April 20th. Some people have asked what is the best way to deliver those. Those forms are digital. So if you fill out the form on your computer and save it, you can email it directly back to Denise Stauffer, and works just fine. If you filled it out by hand, you can take a picture of it and email it back as well. Last kind of case scenario is just drop it off in the mailbox in the front of school, and we'll get it that way. We're also going to be celebrating National Decision Day. National Decision Day is May 1st. But we would like to have seniors deliver their information on National Decision Day by Friday, April 24th. So that's 1 week from today. That information also is coming through Google Classroom for them. What we're asking for is information on where they're going next, whether they're going to choose a career, military, or a college. We want to celebrate all three of those decisions. Have them take a picture of themselves in their college shirt or career shirt or military shirt, and then give us the information on what they plan on doing. And then we're going to celebrate that in a variety of ways through social media on May 1st. So again, make sure your seniors turn that in next Friday. We are also building out a senior countdown packet for each of the seniors so that they know everything that we're asking them to do, the families to do, and to help them in planning in this last period of time. Now, with the president's announcement yesterday and the governor's announcement on kind of these three stages of reopening, again, we are not entirely clear exactly what's going to happen. So the first option for us is always going to be as planned. If the governor allows us to do things like the pool jump or the sophomore senior dinner and graduation on the dates that we have planned, we will do it as planned. However, we want to announce today our option B options. All right, so this is in the case that we are not allowed to meet in person. Senior awards will be happening. We will get out details on how we're going to do that probably next week. So stay tuned on that. The clap out, every year at the very last day, we do a clap out in the high school. If we are in session at school, we will do that as planned. If we are not in school, we are going to do a honk out, or the plan is to do a honk out. We need to talk with the sheriff's office and the health department to get a few things in place on this, so stay tuned for final details, but tentatively mark your calendars for May 22nd. This is the typical day we would have done baccalaureate mass. It is a Friday. The goal would be to fill both of our parking lots and hopefully spill over out even into the highway with cars lining the parking lots and even the highway, and have our seniors drive through and receive some recognition. So again, if the clap out does not happen, please mark your calendars for Friday, May 22nd, and plan on inviting everyone you know to bring a car, fill the parking lots, spill out into the streets. You know, we are going to have to get a few details. I am entirely sure we'll need to talk to the sheriff's office and with the health department on this. So, you know, I guess there's some slight possibility we would have to change things around a little bit, but mark your calendars on that. Prom. Prom has been rescheduled to Wednesday, June 24th. It will be held at the Buckeye Barn as planned. After prom will also be as planned. So make sure to go ahead and ask out your prom date. We will probably modify the dress code to allow for hot weather. So certainly encourage you, if you've got a dress, if you've got a tux already rented, please don't do anything different. But this will be in June, and we are not going to have lots of air conditioning available. So we probably will modify the dress code so that you don't melt on prom night. Stay tuned for those details. Pool jump, again, we will do this as planned. If we cannot do it as planned, we will do it the week of the alternate week of graduation, Thursday, June 25th. So if you're following the logic here, prom, June 24th on Wednesday, pool jump, June 25th on Thursday, and then again, as the backup, option B, then graduation along with the sophomore senior dinner on Friday, June 26th. All right, these are all option Bs, but we want to make sure to get this out to you now so that you can write it in, pencil it into your calendars. We do have a few other fun things planned. We're not quite ready to announce just yet. Some of those are going to be surprises, so just stay tuned. Again, anyone who has any questions about that, please put that into chat. I'll come back to that in just a few minutes. Other rescheduled events, I mentioned prom on Wednesday, June 24th. All school awards, we are going to do this virtually this year. Last year it was in person. We are going to have a date for you next week. So stay tuned on how we're going to do all school awards virtually next week. We are also waiting on some word from Bill Zimmerman on the school musical. Bill is actively looking for some options to reschedule the musical. Again, I'm hoping to have that out as absolutely soon as possible. The Arts Gala. Arts Gala will also be moved to a virtual event this year. I know our music department and our vocal department and our visual arts have all been working hard the last number of weeks. We've been utilizing some just phenomenal technology to actually record and practice things virtually. And so hopefully by next week, we will be able to announce dates for how we're going to do the Arts Gala online virtually. So we're excited about that. We've had just some great art happening while we've been, in distance learning. Field day was scheduled typically, I think, for the 18th of the month. We're currently working with student council for some options, even virtually, to do some fun things for field day. Stay tuned on that. Limelighters audition. Again, option A, if we're back in session, we'll keep that. Option B is on May 15th to go virtual with Limelighter auditions. So if you've got a student who's interested in auditioning for Limelighters next year, pencil in that May 15th virtual date. Lastly, spring sports. We are waiting to hear from OHSAA. Tentatively, OHSAA had a backup plan to do an abbreviated season. We're waiting for additional word from them on anything and everything related to spring sports, so stay tuned there. Okay, updates on registration. First of all, we've extended several deadlines. For those of the families who are interested in applying for grant and aid, this is our tuition assistance program. That deadline has been moved and extended till next Monday, April 20th. You can get to the FACTS aid platform through our website. Choose the admissions menu drop down and you will find the FACTS grant and aid link there. Named scholarships for the underclassmen, that deadline has also been extended to next Monday, April 20th. Secondly, Ed Choice. For those who are applying for Ed Choice expansion or traditional, the deadline has been extended by ODE to May 30th. We do ask that you get that information into us as soon as possible. If you're applying for expansion, there are two forms. The first one is the scholarship application form. That comes to the school. The second one is the income verification. That one you send to the state. So if you're going to apply, please make sure to send that to us. It does take us a little bit of time to upload, so we want to make sure we get that in ahead of time. Finally, Mrs. Coverman is continuing to work with students and families via Google Classroom to schedule classes for next year. I understand it's likely you'll have questions about what's best for your student. Don't hesitate to reach out to Mrs. Coverman to ask questions, even schedule a call or a Zoom meeting if you want to have specific conversation on what's best for your student. So just let us know about that. But all of that is happening as we speak. Finally, exams. All right, so as of today, we are going to announce that we will not have end of year exams. All right, this comes in addition to not doing parent teacher conferences for Q4. If you want to reach out and talk to a specific teacher, please do so. Reach out to them using their email. Teachers have dedicated office hours as well on Fridays, I'm sorry, from 9 a.m. until noon, when they are available specifically to work with students and answer your questions as well. With not having end of year exams, this is what we will be doing. We will do an end of course, either test or project. So every class will have an end of year test or project. It will be counted just as such, just as a normal test or a normal end of year project. The fourth quarter grades then will count for 50% of that semester. So tell and encourage your students to stay active. Fourth quarter grades, in essence, are a little bit more important than normal because we're not doing end of the year exams. That end of the year exam would typically have an additional weight to it. So make sure students are staying on top of their homework and their tests. If you have any challenges or problems from a technology standpoint or distance learning standpoint, please reach out and talk to us. We are going to work with you on all of those things, but we want to make sure students are staying active and up to date on their coursework. We are going to release a specific schedule for, I said exams, it's really not exams, but for the last couple days of school for how we're going to close out so that students aren't stacked one on top of another with end of chapter tests or projects or those sorts of things. So look forward next week to that end of week, end of year schedule. Finally, don't forget to use the blog where we're posting updates daily. You can also sign up for the e-newsletter on the blog. It's working now. Basically, that e-newsletter every Friday will scrape all of the blog content of the week and send it to you in an email. So if you want just to have that information come to you easily, it'll just be delivered. You don't have to remember to go to the website. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. One of the questions was, what is sophomore senior dinner? Every year, the sophomore class hosts a dinner for the seniors. Oftentimes it is led by the class officers, but many times other sophomores participate. We do have some backup plans, as I mentioned, for this. Remember, the backup date for this will be Friday, June 26th, the same date as graduation if we have to move to option B for graduation. So if you've got a sophomore, please kind of pencil that in for that date as well. All right. If you have any other questions, again, please let us know. Thank you again for all of your prayers and all of your support. You know, we are hoping that even though some of the normally scheduled activities are having to be rescheduled, that some of the new options are exciting and provide some neat ways to showcase all of the great things happening at Lehman and celebrate our seniors as well. Again, thank you very much. Happy Easter again. Be great.